Presentations of financial statements.
None at this time, ma'am.
Okay. Moving on to citizen comments. Speakers must sign up prior to the meeting and provide their names, addresses, and topic in which they will speak on. Speakers must direct all comments to the board only. Speakers will be allotted 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topics and relate to matters pertinent to the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. No questions will be asked by any of the commissioners during citizen comments. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. And as always, we ask that you please abide by the 3 minutes. And first person that would like to speak is Mr. Richard Oglesby. If you please come up, state your name and address, please, sir.
I need to walk slow, so I'm a bit nervous. I'm Richard Oglesby. I live at 31st Street, East Griffin. My family has been in that same house since, some part of my family, since 1940s. My subject is substandard housing. There are 2 houses that I must go by each day to get to Spalding Street, High Falls Road, number 29 and number 17 Lakeview Avenue. These 2 houses are in awful condition by any standards. Both been vacant for the most part of 10 years. 29 Lakeview Avenue was bought at the January 2010 courthouse sale over 5 years ago, and the only thing ever been done to the property is board up the windows and board the doors. That's the only thing that's been done. Lakeview, number 17, caught fire last year by unknown cause. There was no electricity or whatever to the house, and the only thing I can assume is that somebody was there, got cold, it was a real cold night, and undoubtedly set a fire that got out of hand and burned the house. The city of Griffin decided to turn off all the street lights in our area because Dundee no longer paid for them. It was years before they discovered that. We were offered to keep them on for a small fee per house, but not enough of the owners signed up for that. We, my mother and I, are paying for a security light. We have been, she has been forever. It even provides enough light for our neighbor across the street to shoot baskets even in the dark. I've been told in years past by Mr. Wilson and code enforcement officers, there's nothing we can do. Looking at Spalding County Codes, Chapter 3, Unsafe Building Code, Chapter 3A, Minimum Housing Code Enforcement, Section 93105, hazard conditions, floors, walls, electrical, vacant open buildings, dilapidated, decayed, and unsafe. Section 93106, owner is responsible for maintenance and cleanliness to adhere to all applicable codes. As you know, some of the problems that we have there, well, from drugs and crime, total disrespect for the entire neighborhood and the people there. These problems that I'm talking about are scattered all around. District 1 I know of because that's the area I live in. My street is divided by city limits. In front of my house, the city limits is on the east side of First Street is city, on the west side is county. Over 10 years ago, I complained to the city, and since that time, 2 of those houses were torn down and replaced by Habitat for Humanity, and the others were remodeled. I think the county should be aggressive. The guy here should be more aggressive. I take more away. They should be aggressive on this area. And I couldn't believe it. Right before 3 o'clock, I heard a big truck come up, and they cut the grass at number 29 Lakeview Avenue. I took a picture of it, which I got in my cell phone. That don't fix the roof falling in and all the other problems with number 29. Okay, I know that was my bell. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you.
I won't leave this with you. I got 2 pictures here, both of those houses were 5 and 10 years old. I'd just like y'all to look at them. Obviously, this house burned. They're in the worst condition. These all about every window. Thank you very much.
Next person is Jennifer Douglas. Please state your name and address, please.
Good evening, I'm Jennifer Douglas, 1823 Robertson Road, Williamson. I'm not quite as prepared as Mr. Copeland. I'm here regarding a situation that was tabled here regarding barking dogs. I'm having a problem with my neighbor, 1817 Robertson Road. Used to be very good friends with the family. They were the first to complain of anyone else's dogs when they were outside barking, waking them up at night, etc. Now that they have one, it seems to be okay. They've placed the pen at the corner by my house where my bedroom is, not by their house. So I've been in touch with Sheriff's Department, Animal Control, Commissioner Miller. I've even spoken with Griffin City Police, but there's only 50 feet from my dwelling that pen can be placed. And it's more than that, it's 75. I'm requesting that it be considered that the pens are placed from the property line, not from the house next door. The other thing too is the dog barking, how it's become a nuisance and we don't have an ordinance in Spalding, Buckeye County for the dog barking. I have several little issues here. How can an animal be a nuisance? Incessant dog barking that disturbs the sleep and quiet enjoyment of others within the community. The owner's inability to control the animal established nuisance as a fact. They don't control it. I will say they haven't been the last couple of days. I don't know why they are. Then I have something from the states, it's OCGA 41-1-1. I'm probably sure you all know about this. Defines a nuisance as anything that causes hurt, inconvenience to another, and the fact that the act done may be otherwise lawful shall not keep it from being a nuisance. The inconvenience complained of shall not be fanciful or would affect only one of fastidious taste, but it shall be as would affect an ordinary reasonable man. Lawful acts become nuisances when they are conducted in a manner causing hurt, inconvenience, or damage to another. Damage to another, to me, is my peace of mind, my emotional distress and everything. It's very aggravating and upsetting to see that someone would want to do that to their own neighbor. Nuisance is a cause, this is Georgia State as well, nuisance is a cause of action providing plaintiffs with real relief from torturous actions of employing landowners and developers. These cases have real potential to award damages, emotional distress, and attorney fees. Nuisance and trespass are both intentional torts long recognized under Georgia law. Both allow redress for invasions of property rights. The distinction between trespass and nuisance can consist in the former being direct infringement of one's right in property, with the latter infringement as a result of an act not wrongful in itself. I'll leave all this with you because there's more that I highlighted, explaining how it does pertain to you're not able to enjoy your own peace and quiet in your own house, and you are a homeowner also, and you do just deserve the right for the peace and quiet, and for the pen to be, possibly another reconsideration of where a dog pen can be, and reconsideration for barking dog ordinance.
Thank you very much. Jennifer Burris. If you can please state your name and address, please.
Good evening, my name is Jennifer Burris. I live at 208 Spring Street. I want to thank you all for your part in some of our recent accomplishments in the Highland Mill Village. For one, the trustees cleaning the streets, which helped a lot. We have more frequent patrols in the area, and that seems to have slowed down some of the drive-through drug traffic that we were having. Also, tracking down the powers that be for the old mill that's been torn down to get the grass cut. However, they only cut it in their fence. They didn't cut it on the sides of their property or around the house or around the mill structure or the lower area. They also did get some of the wandering loose animals that were over there. And code enforcement has made some good strides in getting some of the yards cleaned up. One of our duplexes on the corner of Main Street has been sold, and the new owners have begun the yard work. Let's see what else. Code enforcement, there's still pockets of hoarders that have weekly yard sales. And I feel that we were talking last time, y'all needed money to get things accomplished. Why not charge $25 for a yard sale permit and be done with it? And limit it to 2 years. There are houses up in Highland Mill Village that have enough inventory in their front yards, to say nothing about the backyards and sheds, to take them well into 2090. And it's bottles and glasses and used clothes, and it really needs to stop. But I thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Hallbaker, for your part in it. We're proud to help whatever y'all can do to keep working with us. And we do have a lot of vacant houses that need to be looked into, because I really don't want snakes and rats. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Next item of the agenda is the minutes. Consider approval of the minutes for the April 6, 2015 regular meeting and the April 23, 2015 zoning public hearing for the Spalding County Board of Commissions.
Chair, move to approve stated minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0.
I need time to get on good.
401.
With that,
So it's nothing's on the meeting. Nothing's on the meeting.
Got it.
Consent agenda, item 1. Consider approval on second reading and ordinance amending section 12-1016B2 of the Animal Control Ordinance by striking said subparagraph G in its entirety and inserting in lieu thereof a new paragraph G regarding the establishment of fees designation of veterinary clinics.
Madam Chairman, we generally take the consent agenda, all items at one time, unless anyone has a problem with any of the items.
Do you want to reread all those? You do them quick. Item 2, consider approval on second reading amendment to UDO-A-15-01, Article 1, General Section 106A, amend uniform development standards adopted by Spalding County. Item 2, consider approval on second reading amendment to UDO-A-15-02, Article 5, AR1, Section 503C, 6, Article 6, AR2, Section 603C5, Article 7, R1, Section 703C6, Article 7A, R-1A, Section 703A6C6, Article 8, R2, Section 803C6, Article 8A, R-2A, Section 803A C6, Article 10, R4, Section 1003C6, and Article 2, R-1, Section 1103C6, amend non-commercial garden, including greenhouse, add other customary garden structures. Item number 4, consider approval on second reading amendment to UDO-A-15-03, Article 2, definitions of term used, Section 203S, amend definition of manufactured home, Class A.
Madam Chair, move to approve the consent agenda as identified.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. No old business. Moving on to new business. Consider approval for the following application permits as requested by Chris Smith of the Griffin Moose Lodge for several outdoor events to be held on the following dates at the Griffin Moose Lodge, located at 1435 Zebulon Road. I'll read the locations. First, May 25th, 2015, Memorial Day Family Pool Event from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Second, June 20th, 2015, Luau Pool Event from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. July 4th, 2015, July 4th Family Pool Event from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And item 4, September 7th, 2015, Labor Day Family Pool Event from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Madam Chairman, all the departments have reviewed these and recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Commissioner?
In the past, we've normally limited any request for amplification permits not to just past 10 p.m. On June 20th, they have one identified for the Luau Pool event from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And we have also limited the, make sure I get that right, moose slides to 10 p.m. previously as well. And if, I'd like to request that we consider that.
Would you like to make a, I'm sorry, do we have a motion, correct?
Second.
We would need to have a substitute motion to amend that to 10 p.m. and then have a second, if that's what you want to accomplish.
Madam Chairman, did we, what time did we allow them to have this last year?
I was thinking 11 o'clock, because it was been morning, 12 o'clock, so we cut it back.
Does 11? Yeah, then I don't have any objections if we gave them 11 last year.
We'll keep it as it is.
Have a second.
All those in favor? Keep it. 5-0. Item 2. Consider approval of an application permit submitted by Union Baptist Church to host a Memorial Day celebration and picnic at 1505 North McDonough Road on Sunday, May 24, 2015, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Madam Chairman, all departments have reviewed and recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Item 3. Consider request from Eagles Way Church for the use of the annex parking lot and meeting room for their Mid-Georgia Dock Holiday Festival, September 24 through 26, 2015.
Madam Chairman, we did this last year. We leased it to them for $150 per day, and they must provide a certificate of insurance listing Spalding County as additional insured. They also provided us parking for our employees back here in the city lot across Broad Street and the 6th Street Pier parking lot if necessary. And they agreed to all that this year as well. I don't think Will is here. I don't see
What
him.
meeting room is it?
This one.
This room.
Yes, sir. They use this one for the judges to come in, and they clean the carpet for us after they leave too. So, because they bring the barbecue in for the judges here, and then they leave, and then the judges rate it, and they bring the next one and the next one. So if you like barbecue, let me know. I'll get you a judge slot.
Make a motion to approve. If I get this part.
The slot? Yes, sir. Taken care of.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Item 4, consider approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Georgia Department of Corrections for their contracted care and custody of state offenders at the Correctional Institute in Spalding County.
Madam Chairman, this is our annual agreement with Department of Corrections. Generates about $2.8 million in the general fund. We budget $20 per day for 384 inmates for 365 days. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chairman, if I may. Mr. Wilson, I see that it generates $2.8 million in revenue, but do we break even on this?
On the CI, depends on how you, what you mean by break even, ma'am. No, the CI budget is a little over $7 million, so this brings in almost half of that. But if you applied minimum wage to the inmates that we utilize on all of our details and multiply that times the number of hours per week they work times 52 weeks, it more than makes up for it. Because without the inmates, we would have to hire minimum wage folks to do those jobs.
Any more discussion on anything? All those in favor? 5-0. Item 5, consider renewal of lease with the Department of Veterans Services located at 819 Memorial Drive, Griffin, Georgia.
Madam Chairman, this is the annual lease with veterans. We charge them $100 a month for the facility. It's done more as a convenience to our citizens, because if we did not have that local office here, they would have to travel to Macon, Atlanta, Columbus, other areas. With the local office here, they do staff it with 2 full-time people, and for the 31 years I've been here, we've had a veterans office here. Now, I couldn't tell you before that, but I'm pretty sure we've had it longer than that.
That's a old deal for a long time.
Yes, sir. Many, many, many years. And it is in the, what I call the old Cook Shopping Center, Memorial Drive Plaza.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Item 6, consider approval of the addendum to the intergovernmental agreement between Spalding County and the City of Griffin for the North Hill Street Corridor Transportation Project, intersection number 2.
As you may recall, and I think we put an attachment in here of the intergovernmental agreement that we currently have with the city, states that we will each pay, this was for design and engineering. We each agreed to pay 50% of the design and engineering. Now it's down to the right-of-way acquisition and the construction portion of this. This addendum to the agreement says that the county will be responsible for the county's right-of-way on this project. The city will be responsible for the city's right-of-way on this project. And the city will be the lead agency, as they have been before, on the construction of the project. And then we will reimburse the city for our 50% of the construction once we approve the bidder on the construction and that takes place. So essentially, the city's going to acquire their right-of-way, which essentially is on the right-hand side. If you're going north in the flats, everything on the right is in the city. Everything on the left is in the county. So with the proposed roundabout up there, there's parcels on all 4 corners at those intersections that will have to be acquired. As it happens, ours has commercial on both that are fully operational and fully running. There's a house on one of the city corners, and then there's a, for lack of a better word, a strip mall that I believe may have 1 or 2 businesses in it. Doesn't seem to be as active as across the street, but this just delineates who's responsible for what moving forward with this project.
This doesn't include the bridge.
No, sir. This is only the intersection, because the agreement with the city is only for the intersection. The whole project, intersection number 2, is quote-unquote on hold, pending us the county deciding whether or not to A, do the bridge at the same time, and B, where the funding will come from.
Where's the funding coming for this round?
This is for the 2008 SPLOST. We budgeted,
2.25.
252 million.
yes, sir, for projects 2 and 3. There were 3 projects on North Hill Street. One is 100% city. They're, I believe, in condemnation with that one and getting ready to bid it out. Project number 2 in the flats there at the bridge is 50-50 city-county. And then project 3, which is East McIntosh and Hill Street, is 100% county. And we budgeted $2.25 million for our parts of intersections 2 and 3. I think y'all have voted, well, let's say consensus. I don't know that you voted. I think you did vote, but to put a roundabout in intersection 2 and to put a 4-way stop at intersection 3. This doesn't commit any money. This just says when we move forward, we're responsible for our right-of-way, they're responsible for theirs, and then they're gonna take the lead. They're gonna bid it out, they're gonna oversee it, and they're gonna send us a bill for our 50% of the construction. But we'll agree to the bid as well.
I'll make a motion to approve the addendum to the intergovernmental agreement.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Mark's in favor, yes or no? Okay, 4, opposed, 1. Item 7, consider approval of the service agreement for operations of the Three Rivers Regional Transit System in Spalding County.
Madam Chairman, this is our annual agreement with Three Rivers. This calls for $6,650 to be budgeted in next year's budget. It is included in the recommended budget, and that's less than this year's. This year's contribution was almost $16,000, but included the replacement of the vans. Recommend approval.
Madam Chairman, move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Is it 5?
5-0.
Okay.
Item 8, establish a date for public hearing on proposed animal sterilization requirement ordinance and unaltered animal permit ordinance. Reception dates.
Mr. Fortune has been working with ACAB on drafting ordinances. I believe we have the ordinances attached. I believe the board said before they adopted an ordinance or considered an ordinance, they wanted to do a public hearing once an ordinance was written. I've recommended May 13th or May 27th. Those are both Wednesdays, but the month of May is very crowded with meetings because of budget and because of other things going on. If you want to push it to June, I don't know if there's that much of a, we waited this long, we could wait until June, or y'all can do 2. You can do 1 in May, 1 in June. I just picked 2 dates that would fit the calendar that we currently have.
I have a problem with being on Wednesday. I think you eliminate, especially at 6 o'clock.
Church.
Church, so I mean.
Okay. Tuesdays, we got the meetings either tied up with the zonings or we've got lots of meetings this month.
There's a holiday in there too that may cause.
And there's a holiday
Yeah.
that,
I mean, we waited this long, why can't we just wait till June? Do it in
Yeah.
June?
y'all tell me what you want.
June,
That's fine.
the first Monday in June is a meeting day for us, so we can't have it at 6 o'clock on that day. The next day, next Monday is the SPOS meeting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what day is gonna be?
Are we saying definite 2 days, or can you say maybe 1 day?
Well, do y'all want 2 public hearings or 1? You tell me.
We do 1 day, do you think?
I think they'll hear it, so we'll just hear repetitive comments after the first few.
So, a zoning meeting in June, can we do it maybe after the zoning meeting? The zoning meeting is at 6 o'clock, maybe after
Fine.
June?
Zoning meeting is at 6 on
25th.
Maybe after
the
that?
25th.
No, not good?
Nobody has, we want to come sit through our regular meeting just to.
Why don't do it on June?
Why can't we do the public, oh, yeah.
Or what, if we have a lot, if you listen on the zoning meeting, will there be a lot of applications for us to hear, you think?
I don't know just yet. It depends on what happens in May, how many applications.
Okay. What do you suggest?
Okay, so Wednesday and Thursday are church nights,
Wednesday night, just church. But
so what's Thursday?
Zoning public hearing
Yeah.
for
Just
that.
every month.
And then the planning commission meets 1 and the board of, I'm sorry.
On the 4th of June, who's meeting?
Okay, 4th of June. I don't show anything, let me call it
That's the first week in
the other
June.
calendar.
I was into the ACCG center.
Okay, okay.
I was gonna be at an ACCG seminar, 4th and 5th.
That's all I have.
But, you know, if that's a good day for everybody else, I mean, especially just to receive citizen comment.
On the 18th, you're saying?
No, the 4th, June 4th.
Tuesday,
The second or the fourth? I mean,
Tuesday
so we
the
got
second.
too. The second.
I'm sorry,
Either
that
that
is-
week is fine by me. That first week is fine by me, so. So we're saying the 4th is okay?
I'll be able to.
4th, 6 o'clock?
Or
All right.
who's all available on the 4th? Everybody but Dawn?
You okay with that?
I'll
You sure
I'll
don't?
be able to get the minutes and the comments from there.
June 4th, 6 o'clock.
And
Your wife is on the board though, right?
she is on board, and, you know, I asked her to come, to listen, and also fill me in that way too. That's what she said. It's okay. I just-
FaceTime you?
I'm curious, well, how soon before that meeting will we have a draft of the proposed ordinance?
They're
I
attached,
think they're
They're
attached to
attached.
this.
You're supposed to
they're attached right now on.
They already attached to
leave it there.
So that's got the proposed penalties and enforcement provisions, that kind of stuff, okay.
Yes.
I'm just having a hard time with the Wi-Fi in here tonight for some reason,
Yeah.
so I don't.
So we're
So it
saying,
should be complete ordinances,
Okay.
when you go.
6 o'clock on the fourth.
6 o'clock on the 4th. Okay.
All right.
All right. Item 9, consider appointment of 2 members of the Executive Committee of the Griffin Spalding County Archway Partnership.
Madam Chairman, I'll let you handle that. Okay. Okay. Madam Chairman and I, and Commissioner Hallbaker as well, have been attending the planning meetings of the Archways Committee. The Archways Committee last month made recommendations for appointments, and I think you see those. Hold on, let me get back to the meeting. I went to the ordinance for a second. But they're recommending the sitting county manager, the school superintendent, et cetera, plus a member of the Board of Commissioners. I think the city is allowing the mayor, or has appointed the mayor. I think the chairman of the school board is their appointment, and I know that Commissioner Johnson had been very involved at the beginning of this and wanted to serve.
If it's okay with you all.
I don't have a problem with it.
Madam Chair, Brew, the Spalding County chairperson.
If it's, everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
When you're gonna-
We'll
You all right?
One question. I'll just make a comment during discussion. Is it a voting thing?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it is voting.
We've got to appoint 2 though, correct?
Correct.
And I was gonna say that, county manager. The chairperson of the Spalding County Board of Commissioners and the county manager.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Yes. It's not, but not in reference to the 2 of you. I'm just like, this board seems to be made up of all kinds of people except for regular people. I mean, I don't have any say-so in that, but I'm just saying it's the same group of us who, are making the decision. So I'm just not sure that.
Well, can I say something real quick about that? Sure. I think it would be a good idea, even though we're actually doing the committees, but if you can come to one of the meetings, because one of the things that they're actually doing is that they're actually appointing this people, I guess, from the community. And a lot of community, and as far as being part of the board as well. So it might be a good idea just to come to one of the meetings and kind of see, what the makeup is and
Well, I mean, I was just looking at the core group of who they're making appointments for, and William kind of stated that they were looking at, like the chair. I mean, we can't stop who the city appoints or who the development authority appoints, or I mean, I'm just making a comment. I have no problem with y'all. I mean, I just think that, you know, if you get the same people giving ideas all the time, you're gonna keep getting the same ideas.
But I still want to, I can ask all y'all to come to one meeting, so if you can, at some given time or whatever, because I think your input is important, and just because there's a board, we still need everybody there.
And we will send you copies of the minutes, copies of the agendas, and meeting notices as well. We are, the executive committee is meeting over the next 2 weeks to interview the Archways professional that will be hired by UGA as our person that's embedded in the community. We start those interviews next week, I think. The UGA staff has interviewed, and then now they're giving, they're picking the top 3 or 4, and then the local people are going to interview them as well.
Who pays for this person?
That's part of our contribution. You know, we agreed to $20,000 a year each from the city, county, and that's where that money goes from. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, any more discussion on that? Okay.
Need a vote. You got a motion and a second.
Any discussion of that? All those in favor? 5-0. Report of the county manager.
Yes, ma'am. We sent out a press release on April the 27th, letting folks know that we now use Code Red, that Code Red for our early warning has taken over services from First Call and bought out First Call, so hopefully everyone is getting their messages from Code Red now. I want to let you know that Code Red does something a little bit different than First Call did, because they are able, through their GIS system, to take a notification from the Weather Service, and if it only affects western Spalding County, only those addresses that are in that western portion will be notified, not the entire county. So we had a couple of times, I think that we had severe weather in a portion of the county, but not the entire county, and some were notified and some were not. That's the advanced capabilities that Code Red has based on your address that you key in, notifying you if you're in that zone or that area. But I encourage everyone to give Code Red a try. Go to the website. It tells you how to sign up if you haven't already, and give that a try. We had the 2015 Leadership Griffin Spalding County graduation last week. We had Mr. Stephen Arnold for Animal Control, Jacoya Clinkscales from Spalding County Park and Rec, Joe Ellis from the Senior Center, Richard Gray from Public Works, Kathy Gibson from our office. Carl Humphrey, our new warden, went through the program. Rico McCrary, who's one of our lead dispatchers, went through the program. Wanda Smallwood at voter registration. Scott Sullivan from our Public Works Department. And Greg Thaxton from Parks and Recreation. So we had recognition of those folks last week, and I want to congratulate them on leadership and thank the department heads and the commissioners for budgeting the money and the department heads for allowing them to go to this class. I want to remind everybody that Wednesday, May the 6th, we're going to have our first disc golf tournament. If you can, be there around 10:30, if you could, 10:15, I'm sorry, for the first inaugural disc golf toss. So who would like to toss the, whatever you disc, I guess, for the disc golf? But I encourage you to be there. National Day of Prayer will be May the 7th, which I believe is Thursday, at 12 noon on the courthouse veranda. And we got notification today, there were some forestry folks here, that Customer Appreciation Day from the Forestry Service is going to be in Thomaston on May 27th from 11 to 2 p.m. at their location down there. So they invited us all to that. Want to let everyone know that your proposed budget was delivered to the Board of Commissioners over the weekend. We are finishing up Novus agenda for the department by department detail, and I'll finish that tonight. We've got everything entered. I've just got to go through and double check one last time to make sure it's all there on Novus agenda. We were able to meet all of the Board of Commissioners' goals of the retreat without a tax increase. And that is based on Don Long, our new chief appraiser back there, who tells me that for the first time in several years, he feels confident that we'll have an increase in the budget, in the digest this year. So we're working on thanking Don for all his hard work. And I do want to point out, and Don may want to say something, but May 1st is the deadline for getting out all of our notice of assessments. And Don, for the first time in the 31 years that I've been here, I believe you got those out on time.
May 15th.
May 15th, I'm sorry.
And then the last day to appeal will be approximately June 30th.
But that's going to be the first time that they've been out on time in 31 years here, which will also allow us to set our millage rate and have a October due date. Is that correct? Or is it November?
Probably November. You mail out bills September?
Mail out bills in September,
60
so that
days, yeah. Probably
60 days, and so it's
Probably around
November.
November 15th.
Yes, sir. So it's the first time we'll be able to do that. And, you know, for 1 year, it was almost after the calendar year. So all that information is available on Novus agenda, and that's all I have.
Report of commissioners, I'll start with Commissioner Hallbaker.
Well, we haven't had an official meeting since really early April, other than public zoning, due to ACCG. I want to thank William for accompanying me to a town hall out at the Sun City Community, the homeowners community center. Word had been put out about it, and 75 or so residents indicated that they'd be attending. We had, in fact, 165 show up. So,
Overflow crowd.
yeah, there's a lot of activity and promotion going on, trying to get all the chairs set up. And the Public Affairs Committee did a good, for the Sun City Homeowners Association, did a good job responding to the overflow crowd. And I received a lot of good feedback on it, and particularly for the detail that William was able to add to some of the ongoing issues that are of interest to those residents. Likewise, Don Long gave a presentation the next week to the under the auspices of the HOA's Public Affairs Committee, informing residents about property tax valuation, assessment, and appeals issues. So I want to thank Don for providing an informative presentation. This last, I'd just like to tip a hat to the Sheriff's Department. This past Friday had the chicken queue for Sheriff's Office employee Pam Dawson and her husband, who lost their house and most of their belongings in a fire. And I understand there's a fairly good turnout for that, and hopefully have raised enough money to help these folks cover their insurance deductible and so forth. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Commissioner Frost Taylor?
Don't have anything.
Commissioner Wood?
I have, well, William took one, so I only have two. The DA, the district attorney for the Griffin Circuit, is having their law enforcement appreciation banquet tomorrow night at the First Baptist Church in Fayetteville at starting at 6 p.m. And I'm going to go to that I was planning on going to that to represent the county on behalf of our law enforcement officers. And also, I want to just heads up and big thanks, attaboy, to Warden Humphrey and the CI leadership for having the two breakfasts for the personnel at the CI. for Appreciation Week this week. I thought that was great. And I plan on making it today at 5:30, but I'm gonna make it Wednesday at 5:30.
We'll see everyone Wednesday morning, 5:30, at 401 Justice Boulevard.
Then I'll see you there,
Yes, sir?
okay?
Traffic will be light.
Commissioner Miller?
I'm gonna go along with William. I've had a lot of people that have talked to the tax assessors office and to Don. In fact, I've told them to call him. And everybody I've been talked to them, called me back, and they were very impressed with talking to him. So, you're doing a good job as far as some of the taxpayers going anyway. It wasn't just some of the taxpayers.
We'll see May the 16th.
The other thing is, you know, you say that we're gonna be, our property tax is gonna increase by 2%, over what it was last year.
Property value.
Values are gonna increase 2%. I just don't want us to sit here and start giving out money just because we think we're gonna get 2%, because we're gonna have things that are gonna come up. We're gonna lose property, airport, and stuff like this. We're gonna lose the walking trail. We've got a lot of things that we need to consider for splash. And to me, I don't think that we ought to be giving any pay raises. We shouldn't do anything, hiring anybody until we find out exactly what this digestion is gonna do and until this airport thing is settled. Because you're gonna lose anywhere from 600 to 800 acres. You know, he can't do anything about that. He can't raise the value because it's gonna be losses off tax digest. That's not counting what the city's gotta buy to connect with where they're gonna put the airport at. So, you know, that's more land that you're gonna lose that. A lot of it's farmland, conservation, some of it's conservation. We still need to hold our reins on our spending, in my opinion, till we find where these things are gonna come from. Because I'm not gonna come back here next year and say, well, we're gonna have to raise property tax. I can tell you, I'll never vote for a property tax increase. It doesn't make any difference one way or the other. I'd like to see county employees have a raise, but I cannot raise property tax and give them one. That's all.
All right. Couple of big congratulations. I'd like to congratulate Eric. Congratulations, Eric. We're proud to have you on board, obviously. You know, that she's the lady, Terry said a lot of good things about you, so. We enjoyed having you here so far, and I know you're just a big addition to us. We want to say thank you. Also, thank you to Kathy, for the leadership program that she did as well. Thank you. We've got some awesome people here with us on staff. We appreciate that. I'd like to say congratulations once again to ABWA, American Businesswomen Association, celebrating 30 years. Gwen and I, like I said, are both members there and do some awesome work in the community. And she read you the numbers about the scholarships, and each and every year, you know, that's what we do. So congratulations to that group. And as William had mentioned, and also ditto with Dawn, thank you, Dawn. And then we're going into budget reviews next week, and we got to put our thinking hats on. But I'm looking forward to, like we said, getting everything done that we want to accomplish. And all of those we had set our priorities. We get a chance to meet, and it's exciting. So that's all I have to say. Motion.
Make
Make
a
a
motion.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0.
6:59. I didn't mean to ignore your email. I appreciate your comments.
Good all that gun, boy. Get all that gun.
Five, that's